What's up, y'all? I'm trapped in Dubai. I came out here to celebrate my 30th birthday with one of my good friends, and everything just went left.
Day 4 of being stuck in Dubai.
It's day 4, and we're still here in Dubai. We're expected to leave on Thursday.
So, what's your thought? I mean, you just have to sit and wait?
Lots of sitting and waiting, lots of uncertainty. We haven't heard anything. And so we're just waiting for the shoe to drop almost.
Man, PSA for all the black Americans who stranded in Dubai. We love y'all. We hope y'all make it back to America safe. But y'all niggas know better. You niggas know better. Man, I'm not going to no country where they gonna give me a life sentence for motherfucking not get caught with a 3-5. Fuck out of here, man.
Tens of thousands of Americans are stranded in the Middle East as Iran launches retaliatory strikes against U.S. allies. A friend who's in Dubai right now actually just sent this to me as she was walking outside. The strikes have led to chaos at airports and thousands of canceled flights. In fact, we haven't seen this many flight cancellations since the beginning of the pandemic. In fact, Iran even targeted some airports, like this is the Dubai airport. And this is crazy. So this map shows where Iran has launched retaliatory strikes, and it's so many U.S. allies. So look at the red dots: Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, obviously Israel. And take this in because it looks eerily similar to this screenshot that I just took from FlightAware that shows all of the flights in the air right now. And you can see there's this huge gap around where the strikes are taking place. The only difference is the UAE, because Etihad and Emirates just resumed a limited amount of flights from Dubai and Abu Dhabi to evacuate people. But it's far from enough because, of course, Americans aren't the only ones stranded in the Middle East. There's hundreds of thousands of tourists from around the world that are trying to get home. Germany said they're sending planes to Oman and Saudi Arabia to evacuate the 30,000 German tourists. The Czech Republic said they're also sending planes. But even though the US got us into this conflict, they've yet to say how they will be evacuating stranded Americans.
Hey, y'all. As you know, I'm the girl that decided to spend her 30th birthday in Dubai. And I'm coming on here very humbly, asking my president to just seize it. I'm an American taxpaying citizen, and I've now been stuck over here since the 24th. I've been blessed to be able to buy 3 different flights from 3 different airlines, and they've all been canceled. I don't know who this will reach. I don't know if it'll reach anyone. But I am not the person who gets on here like this. But I am desperate to get home to my family. So I'm asking, I'm pleading, please, just whoever can help us, please just help. And it's not even about the financial part. We just don't have a way out. Every time we try, it gets canceled. So I'm putting myself out here on the internet, as humble as I know how, to just get some help. Thank you.
You've been talking to a man who is trapped in Dubai at the moment. First of all, how is that person doing?
Hey, Dave, you know what? Yeah, this guy is pretty panicked, to say the least. He's doing a little bit better, but he was enjoying his time out in Dubai, saw some smoke rise up, and then suddenly they start seeing debris falling from the sky. That's when panic set in. He is trying to get out of there. Take a listen.
When you hear like France is chartering planes to come get their citizens, and we have, usually we're on top of that. We're the first people to do anything. And right now it's like you can't even get a hold of people. The only thing they tell you is like, hey, get out. But it's like, how do you get out? They bombed the airport. Where do we go? What do we do?
Kumar took this video of smoke and missiles over the water outside his hotel in Dubai 4 days ago. The fighting in Iran had begun.
Everybody started to panic. Everybody whipped out their phones and started to videotape. So we had to be evacuated, and we all went into Nobu's kitchen, which was sort of like underground, and had to be held there for like 2 hours.
Since then, he's been trying to get back home to the U.S.
Well, they bombed the airport, so all flights were canceled, and then they said that the airport's going to be closed indefinitely. So as a mass panic, we just started searching for flights from anywhere.
His cousin found him a flight out of Muscat.
The only issue is that I had to make this travel there, which ended up being a 10-hour tour through car and immigration and just craziness.
That craziness may not be over.
I'm afraid of what I'm going to see at the airport now, because I feel like it's just going to be a mass load of people trying to get on the same plane that I'm booked on. And hopefully I make it, man.
Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time. There are currently no United States evacuation points. Please continue to check the embassy's website for updated information. In the event of ongoing military action, Americans should shelter in place until it is safe to move about freely.
Hello you all, welcome back. You know, one thing people don't really think about when wars start is the normal people who suddenly get caught in the middle of it. And right now, there are American citizens who are literally stuck in airports, in places like Dubai and other Middle Eastern countries. And it's not because they did anything wrong. They were just there traveling, others were there for work. And suddenly, the war between US, Iran, and Israel escalated. And this has caused flight cancellation. And people are now stranded, wondering how they'll get back home. And it's so worrying. And imagine just being in an airport, thinking you're just waiting for your connecting flight home, and then you start seeing flights getting cancelled one by one on the departure board, and then another flight cancellation. And suddenly, the airport is packed with people who have no idea when they are going to get home and how they are going to be able to live. And that's what's happening right now in places like Dubai, and one of the biggest travel hubs in the world. And normally thousands of flights pass through there every day, but because of the conflict and airspace restrictions, many of these flights were cancelled and rerouted. So people were just in transit, Americans, Europeans, tourists, workers. They're not stuck in hotels, and they're stuck in airport terminals, or they're trying to find any flight that can get them out. And the scary part is the uncertainty they are going through, because when war is involved, it's not like a normal delay where they say your flight will leave tomorrow. Nobody really knows when things will go back to normal, because this war, it's just beginning, and Trump thinks the war is almost ending. I really also don't understand, because some people have been calling airlines for days trying to rebook flights. Others are even paying crazy amounts of money for alternative routes just to leave the region. And it's so scary knowing you even have relatives who are there and they can't get out. And just think about the stress they are going through. You're far from home. Your government is telling citizens to leave the region immediately because of safety concerns and risk, but at the same time, flights are limited and cancelled, and you have less options on how you're going to manage to live. But let's first watch how people are reacting to this, and then we're going to come back with a full commentary at the end of the video. So stay tuned, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll gladly appreciate if you guys did so.
Whoa, okay. That was a lot. Let's start from the beginning. So if you've met me recently, you probably met me as the girl who was stranded in Dubai, which indeed is true and indeed did happen. It was supposed to be a regular birthday celebration trip turned into a stuck in the middle of a war zone trip. One minute we were picking out our shisha flavor, the next we were sleeping in a parking garage. You really never realize how short life can be until you feel like you're standing in front of the end of it. Of course you're trying to stay calm, but you have the adrenaline of 10 bulls running through you, hoping that you don't get bombed. All you have is your phone, so you pull it out to make a video in the parking garage. After after completely sobbing to let people at home know what's going on. It reaches over 3 million people. Overnight, your DMs are flooded with news networks and everybody wanting you to tell your story, but nobody helping you get back home. Strangers on TikTok are rooting for you, but you still don't have a way home. People are reaching out to your senators for you, but you still don't have a way home. Find a good hotel to stay at, but you still don't have a way home. You're losing hope. You don't know what to do. The US is not coming for you. And that quickly sinks in. You and your group try to make the best of the situation because, I mean, what else can you do? But as time goes on, things change. More missiles are falling, more places are getting hit, and people are starting to have medical emergencies. You're taking shifts at this point. Stay up late at night and do interviews to get our face out there. Wake up early in the morning to bombard our airline with calls. Finally, our prayers go through and we get a flight. But it's not for all of us. The craziest part is some of the measures that you're willing to take when you have to get out of a situation. I'll talk about that in another video. Now, obviously, I made it back home and I'm super grateful for that. But baby, there's a story to be told and somebody's responsible. I'll talk to you soon. Love you.
I honestly didn't know when I would be ready to make this video because it is a touchy subject on all the things that I went through last week. I'm so grateful and incredibly lucky to be safe, alive, and in America again. And this video was just genuinely showcase my experience of the struggles we had with getting back to the United States and how scary it was to be in a place where missiles were being intercepted overhead and you didn't know if the missile was going to drop on your hotel or if you went outside quickly to go get groceries or just to get a breath of fresh air, that you could literally die. This government was really not helpful at all in any means for the people trying to travel back to the United States. They just gave us a number to call, and on that number, they really gave us no information about sign up with STEP notifications, and they said they were bringing military charter planes. I saw one video of some like more high profile people, but I never heard news of a charter plane and we had to figure out our own way to get out. One thing I think is really shitty is all the news broadcasters and news people reaching out to me. I didn't feel comfortable in Dubai talking about it. A lot of censorship goes on in Dubai, especially like I was gonna go live one of the days in Dubai and it said like don't say things that like you can go to jail basically. I think the scariest thing was going to bed at night, not knowing if you would wake up the next day. You didn't know if there was going to be a drone that crashed into your hotel. Like, also, what was scary was when you would go downstairs, especially in our hotel, like all the hotel people were acting so normal. In America, anything can happen. 9/11, shooting up schools, all those things, anything is literally possible. So I was locked in our room. This situation also really opened up my eyes to the people that actually genuinely care about me and those who don't. Just, it's so crazy when you're in like a really tough situation and like people can't even do the bare minimum. I truly believe that struggles happen in your life to prove you a lesson. And I think one lesson I learned is I need to stop being so materialistic. Anyways, like I said, I'm just really happy that I am safe. I think I will forever have PTSD from this experience. Now when I hear like loud noises, it really does freak me out and I don't know if that will ever change. So yeah.
So my sister and I are American citizens that currently live in Dubai. We've been living in Dubai I've been here for over 9 years. Never have we experienced anything like this. We have now been under siege. It's like crazy to even say this, for the last 4 days. And as US citizens who are registered with this like emergency contact travel notification system have not received not a peep, not nan, not nothing from the US government. Last night in the middle of the night, I woke up for Sahur, I'm fasting for Ramadan, and I see all of these posts online urging all Americans to evacuate the Middle East immediately, to evacuate all of these countries. We have now called the emergency numbers on said post. The first number we call, we can't get through because we're calling from an international phone number. Second number we call, we wait for 12 minutes. We finally get through to someone. First they asked, "Are you in Israel?" "No, ma'am." Then they ask, "Where are you currently?" We say United Arab Emirates. They say, "Okay, you need to now call the United States Embassy." We said, "Okay, well then why did the United States government put this emergency contact number on this post. We have no more information. Please call the embassy. Here's what they say.
If you are calling about the crisis in the Middle East, please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time. There are currently no United States evacuation points. Please continue to check the embassy's website for updated information. In the event of ongoing military action, Americans should shelter in place until it is safe to move about freely. Please enroll in the Smart Travelers Enrollment Program. It makes it easier to reach you.
Okay, fuck off. Basically, they're urging us to leave. The airspace is closed. They are giving us no support to actually leave. Yeah, I really fucking wonder if we were in Tel Aviv, what would they have done? Marco fucking Rubio, count your... I've just been advised that I can't threaten American politicians.
I hung up after I've been on hold for 20 minutes.
Honestly, guys, this is fucked. But I will say, as an American citizen who is living in the UAE and who has lived in the UAE for a long time, this government has been more communicative, more supportive of their citizens and their residents than the United States government has ever been. I'm actually in shock. So, like, pray for us. Thanks.
Hello TikTok. I thought I would just make a quick video about where I've been and what's been going on. I am under like something, by the way, but I've just come outside because nobody's out here. So for any of you as well that are maybe stuck in Dubai, I thought I would just tell you what we've done, because we think we are getting on a flight. And for anyone that is here and knows the current situation, which is just not fun, it's not. You'll know getting out has been really difficult. So what we did is, our original flights were with British Airways. British Airways are not operating out of the UAE at the moment. They don't think it's safe. They won't send their crew here. Totally understand. They're not being the most helpful, because if you want to fly with BA, you have to get yourself to Oman, which they told us on the phone was going to be a 14-hour drive from a hotel in Dubai across to Oman, wait at the airport and then get on the flight. But they can't guarantee you'll be put on the flights. It's kind of like they've got your name on a waiting list. So that's one whole situation. And also if the borders then close, then you're stuck in Oman. So we were a bit like, oh, we don't know what to do. They are One World Alliance partners with Etihad. So if you are able to get through to someone in the UK office, they will be able to put you on an Etihad flight operating out of Abu Dhabi. Some Etihad flights have been flying and some haven't. So we do have an Etihad flight scheduled for Monday. It has been cancelled some days and it hasn't others. Like, we don't really know what's going to happen with that flight. So we've also gone ahead and booked some other flights, and I follow this girl Katie here on TikTok who's been so helpful, and essentially at midnight I've noticed that flights are being released also at 7 p.m. to different places in Europe, just random odd flights, and I've managed to get 3 seats on a flight to Italy, which is not ideal, but like anywhere in Europe, anywhere not here would be amazing. And that is allowing us to check in for tomorrow. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to fly to Italy tomorrow, because we've been allowed to check in on that flight. So that is just a little bit of an update. If you go on there and you check at 7 p.m. and midnight, there seems to be some flights on Emirates. Emirates seems to be flying a lot more. They've obviously got this corridor going on in this whole system. I also do know from a friend that's out here that they had an Emirates rep come to the hotel and they were able to book them onto a flight. So just wanted to give anyone a heads up that might be stuck here in Dubai. I will talk more about the whole situation and where we were. We were actually on the Palm on Saturday night when everything started. We've ended up coming to an area called Rak, which has also had some things going on. So yeah, it's just been a bit of an interesting one. Very grateful to the UAE. Like, the amount of this they've been able to intercept and deal with has been amazing. And that doesn't mean we're all being paid to say that. I'm here on holiday, like I'm not a resident in the UAE, but what they have been able to do, like you can't deny, has been wonderful at keeping a lot of people very safe. So grateful for that. If you are here in Dubai and you've got any more questions, send me a message. We can have a chat, we can voice note, I can try and help you work it out, because it is all a little bit stressful and confusing, and just the noises and everything, it is a lot to deal with. So yeah, I'll talk more about it when I'm home. Hopefully I will be in Italy on that flight tomorrow. Let's see. Watch your space.
It's scary the first day, like really, because like the alarms went off on our phone, like the emergency broadcast. So we're like, oh, what's happening at like 1 a.m. And then you hear noises in the background like every day. But by the last 2 days, during the day, everything was like normal.
It's not usual to have missiles intercepted above your head, but it was honestly, it was not bad. We were in the marina, so a lot of stuff was going down to Abu Dhabi, and so we saw a lot of the missiles coming across Dubai, going there, but they were being intercepted.
How difficult was it to get a flight out there?
Impossible. Yeah, they were all, especially coming to here, you had to hop somewhere else.
After days of being stranded in the Middle East, some Americans are finally making it back on U.S. soil. This was the first direct commercial flight out of the UAE that landed at JFK on Thursday. Now, passengers said they felt relieved to make it back home, but many said they felt frustrated with what they described as the lack of support from the U.S. government.
There's not anybody doing enough on our side here in the United States. We reached out to a lot of just, Senate and then representative offices as well. It seemed there were, like, organizationally, just wasn't really a plan.
There was absolutely zero plan for evacuation for anyone. The phone numbers are a joke.
On the 3rd of March, Secretary of State Marco Rubio told reporters that some 9,000 American citizens had left the Middle East since the start of the conflict, and he appealed to citizens still in the region to make themselves known to the authorities.
We need to know where you are. We need to have contact information for Americans that need assistance. They have to register with us, because as these options begin to open up, and as they open up, we have to be able to call you, we have to be able to reach you.
But Americans in the region say they received very little guidance from the State Department. Earlier in the week, callers got a pre-recorded message that said, "Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time." Now, the message was updated by Wednesday morning to say the U.S. is committed to helping U.S. citizens who want to leave the region to do so. It also said that callers should stay on the line to get assistance with travel from the region. Some say they were left to fend for themselves under extraordinary conditions.
All other countries were immediately, getting plans, getting planes in, where we were just kind of told, like, get a commercial flight and, stay safe.
Honestly, this just shows something we forget whenever we talk about war. It's not just governments fighting, it's regular people who get caught in the middle, people like tourists, their students, workers, and families with kids, people who just want to go back home for safety reasons, to just be where you feel you're safe. And that is going back to America. And hopefully the situation calms down and these travelers can get out safely, or this war should have already ended, because this is affecting so many families, because being stranded in a foreign country during a war is something nobody plans for. We didn't even know there would have been a war like this. And it's a reminder that when global conflicts happen, the ripple effects reach everyday people almost instantly. And honestly, that's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. I want to hear from you guys what you think about this ongoing war between Iran and USA, because these bombings are just becoming too much, and there should be a solution to this as soon as possible, because it's affecting families and people want to feel safe where they are. People went there to work, people just were chasing the bag, and suddenly bombings everywhere. You see, it's so sad, but I would want to hear from you guys if you have families who have been impacted by this, they have been unable to come back. Tell me how you have been able to cope with this. And finally, credit goes to the respective owners of the clips and content used in my video. Yeah, that's Imperceptive made today's work possible, guys. And if you loved today's video, ensure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, as well as share this video so it reaches a wider audience. And I'll see you in the next video.